Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. It's getting clearer to Nigerians and the opposing parties, political parties in Nigeria, that APC have one aim and one aim alone. Not only to become the main ruling party, but to become the only ruling party existing in Nigeria and in the Federation. And they have begun in earnest. A ruling that was done on Sunday. You can imagine. Times are changing. Nothing is impossible in Nigeria. You also get to see one or two videos where APC had actually promised the opposition, whether they like it or not, if you like, take it to anywhere. We are there waiting for you. Now let's find out what other main oppositions, the Labour Party and the rest, are saying as it's getting clearer, the main issues at hand. But before we go into the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Now, there's a judgment that was done on Sunday. A three-member panel of the Court of Appeal led by Justice Elfrada Williams Dawudu ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to withdraw the certificate of return issued to Mufwang and issue a fresh one to Nentawa Goswe of APC, whom the court declared as the valid winner of the March 18 governorship election. Now, Mufwang was the third opposition governor to be sacked by the Court of Appeal within just 3 days. Now, reacting to the sack of the three opposition governors, the chief spokesman for the Labour Party campaign organization, that's Yanusa Tanko, concluded that the judgment might have been spurred by some vicious persons in the executive arm of government who were using the judiciary as a tool to capture the state. Now speaking, he insisted that if the ruling party is not challenged, they would completely clean other parties from their political scene. He said, and I quote him word for word, "As I said earlier, this particular set of people in power are vicious politicians. I repeat, the word vicious again for emphasis. Gradually, we are beginning to witness completely captured state where all the institutions have already been bought, intimidated, or even blackmailed to do the bidding of the present political party and the government in power. There is no hanky-panky about it. They are clear on what they want to do and they are putting our democracy in power. And it is now left for us to really challenge these particular people. Otherwise, they are going to take us completely to the cleaners and they don't care how, when, and where they do it as long as it favors them. This is the danger. Now the electorate are being discouraged from going out to vote for candidates of their choice, knowing that the mandates can be snatched. They're already in control of the state apparatus. We had a similar situation at the point where the PDP was in power. These particular people in power will be referencing how virtually everybody was joining the PDP during President Olusegun Obasanjo's administration then. There was no clear ideology, and that was what gave birth to APC conglomerate. But in this case, it's a different matter entirely. These people in power are just too vicious. Nigerians, over to you. My colleague is in the house. Want to look at this very critically. It's getting clearer. Just fairly recently was Plateau, Kano, and now this. To what end? Are we seeing the end of all of this? I don't think so. What's the take on the drama of folding? Well, I think we're wearing democracy as a dress. I don't think we're practicing it as a medium of operation.
All right, thank you so much. Now, one of the things that we have to consider is the consequences of running a country like Nigeria with one party system. That's exactly what APC is trying to do. They want a situation whereby there will be no opposition and they will be in charge. And whenever such happen, one of the things that we will see is that it may generate the dictatorship. And that is a strong disadvantage because there will be no room for existence of opposition party. And for that reason, even if the only ruling party goes on a wrong tangent, it cannot be criticized, and this can develop into dictatorship because there won't be anybody or any official that can stand up and say, no, we can't permit this to happen. That is exactly what APC is trying to do. But guess what? They are doing it unofficially, pretending as if we allow other political parties to exist. But then, by virtue of what they are remote controlling judiciary to do, they do not want anything like any other party or unofficially, so that it can they can enjoy the ride without any bumps on the way. Also, one of the big consequences we must consider is the fact that they may, by virtue of one party system, most experienced politicians may be excluded from leadership. So every day we will keep on watching as the wrong guys are being brought in. Every day, every year, they keep on treating Nigeria as if it is their birthright, and by so doing, a lot of people who are supposed to change the narrative, the likes of Peter Obi and other very useful politicians, will be at the background, not doing anything, because after a while, like what we saw Uzodinma did to the NLC chairman, that's a pointer to the fact that they have a particular plan, which is to run with just one party system, so that if you are an opposition, they don't see you as an opposition, they see you as an enemy of the state. That's how they look at you, that you are actually an enemy of the state. And they will start making use of every weapons in their hands to fight you and bring you down. That is one of the things Nigerians must not permit. And we also know that whenever one party system is on board, corruption is inevitable, because there won't be anything like official opposition. And when official opposition is not allowed, there will be circumstances where there will be no checks and balances on the power of the government. The tendency is therefore that the government may become so corrupt and will even make provision for corrupt officials to be shielded. And we saw in the past administration, the likes of Siraki and also the humanitarian minister, up till now, who had called them up for accountability. Those checks and balances that were supposed to be there is no more there. You understand? And unfortunately, virtually all the agencies will be dancing to their step. Civil servants will be dancing to that. So that's why it's important for Nigeria to make sure, officially and unofficially, let us not permit this thing. That is why they need to be very serious moves and decision over this issue of judiciary being under the control of the governors. We heard what this guy said. If you have been listening to some of the things we've said, we heard what Akpata said some time ago when he went to International Bar Association to speak, that most of Nigeria's judiciary, those who are chief judges, they go on their knee to beg for the release of their budget and even official vehicles. So imagine if that happened, there will be conditions given to them. If I give you official vehicle, this is what I want you to do. This is what and the person cannot, do anything contrary. So for that reason, all of these are some of the things that are clear-cut features of one-party system, which Nigeria must outrightly fight against. And when this come to stay for too long, apathy is inevitable. It's very clear that whenever one party perpetuates itself in power for too long, and there are no alternatives for the citizenry to choose from, people become less concerned about what is going on in the country, and this is what may likely lead to political apathy, which we must do everything within our possible best to prevent. So that is why I feel that there is need for an alliance, because they have not openly declared APC officially as the only party in Nigeria. They still allow other parties. The other parties should not exist separately. They need to be a coming together, a unifying force in all the state, and the campaign should start now. They should make decision on who is going to be there and see how we can shield our pride. Nigerians should make sure that they shield their pride, stop every pride that they have or greed that they have for power, and see how a wrong government can be dethroned. If they can't perform this time around, I can assure you that they won't perform any better. Because if we keep allowing this, what will be precedents leave behind for other leaders who are coming in future to take over will be worse, because as they are coming in to take over, they will also continue from where their people stop. If it was we were beaten with one sledgehammer, it will be more than 10 sledgehammer that will be put on our head. And that's why we must insist that unofficially and officially, this thing going on, which is one party system feature, should be prevented automatically. That's what I'd like to say.
Okay, I guess that's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take on this drama unfolding?